Whoa ho! Welcome everybody to Attempts at Governance, episode 161, and this is a huge show. We're very, very happy to have you all with us. First, we're going to start with the state of the Treasury, then we got something really special to get to. Looking at the DOT holdings right now, if you take the main Treasury and add what is on the Asset Hub, that is 21,831,625 DOT, down 30,542 DOT from this time last week, which is worth about $133.6 thousand at today's market value. The stablecoin Treasury is looking really good though. From this time last week, we are up 459,997 USD in stablecoins, bringing the stablecoin chest to 9.78 million US dollars. That's the state of the Treasury, and I am happy, sad. Well, either way, I have to announce that Phunky will not be with us today. Why? Because he is celebrating his birthday. What is it? What is this? His 31st birthday?
40, yeah, 31st, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. So he can't be with us, but of course, everybody on the panel has enthusiastically agreed to sing him happy birthday. Let's hit it, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Phunky. Happy birthday to you. I gotta say, the delay made that even better. That was fantastic. Thanks, everybody. We're now going to throw it to Limo for referenda gone by.
How can I beat that? Oh my god.
You can't.
Okay, there's not that many refs. It's actually the least amount of refs we've had in like over a year, which is pretty crazy. The first one is by an anonymous account on the Treasury track, ref 1033. This, I think, is just confirmed like 2 minutes ago. So this is to close bounty 46, which is the AMI bounty program. Then there's another treasurer ref from Joe Pachowski, who's a member of the fellowship, ref 1026. This was approved and it fixes the asset rates. So now, for example, 1 DOT equals 30,000 dead, and it corrects the asset rates for USDT and USDC so that the chain knows how much it's allowed to spend on each track properly. Then we have a big spender from Polymac, ref 1039. This was rejected, and it was for $400,000 for the Polka Dot Growth Initiative. So we'll see if they come back with a revised ref. Then we've got the Core Time Dev Tools medium spender ref 1040. This was rejected as well, and it was for 151,000 USDT for enhancing Core Time Dev Tools for seamless parachain builder experience. Then we've got a guy we normally talk about on Kusama. This is Spazcoin on the small spinner track ref 1071. This was approved, and it deposits a total of 2,261 dots into relay chain child accounts for 14 parachains to facilitate the opening of XCM channels, because it does cost some dot to open those channels. And finally, we've got Marty on the big tipper track, ref 1097. This was rejected, and it was for 1,000 dot for the .UI Polkadot UI UX design system draft. And that is the shortest that's ever been in about a year and a half or something.
Well, don't worry, Limo. Next week's Ref Gone By should be absolutely massive again. We have so much to get through today. Let's just take a quick look at everything we're going to talk about. We are going to talk with Connor Daly on this new motorsports campaign, which is going to be fantastic. We have a couple people on for the chain analysis, AML. What was the other one? KYT. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to figure out. And we have some marketing proposals and some tech proposals. But first, I did want to say congratulations to the DAO and everybody involved for the Inter Miami announcement, announcing Polkadot as the club's official global training partner. And this was a long time coming. It all started on this show. Against all odds, it passes. Against even greater odds, a top-up passes. And then against a plunging market, the good folks behind the deal, Sean at Orson and Nico, they're able to reduce the fee that the club was asking. I don't, by how much, Limo? More than $1 million, maybe approaching 2.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of money.
1.5.
Whoa! Anybody want to say anything about this, Chris? You're a big part of this as well.
It was a fun journey. I think Filippo said it best. Like, we could probably make a documentary or mini series about a sports sponsorships out of OpenGov. But yeah, it was a wild ride. In the end, it worked out well, and excited for the whole community and the network and the exposure we're going to get out of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I think we're going to hang tight for some more information coming soon. But spread the word far and wide on X, and this is going to be such a cool partnership to leverage. I'm looking forward to bringing the Coos down to the official announcement, which is looking like, I don't know, end of this month, maybe next month. I'm going to grab as many branded jerseys as possible and sell them to everybody at a massive markup. Now we're going to move on now to, let's see here. Andrew Connor, welcome back to the show. 2025 Polkadot Motorsports program with Global Ambassador Connor Daly. What ref number is this right now? Because I think I have the wrong link in here.
1111.
111. 1111. Make a wish, guys. Welcome back to the show. What do you want to tell us?
What's up? I am currently in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on the way to the IndyCar race this weekend. Obviously, I'm doing the rest of the season in the IndyCar series. So, but I obviously have seen a lot of the comments and a lot of the response to our referendum, of course. And of course, we respect all that. We love the engagement, honestly, on it. And I think one thing that we are noticing, and that we would love to at least, I guess people either don't believe that we're doing business work in the background, and like there's a lot of marketing, of course, that you see, right? That's great. Like there's a point to that as well. Like our whole proposal, it was also like a business to business, like a business integration thing. Like, hey, we want to bring businesses that are already involved in motorsport to Polkadot, right? Because that's what people want to see. We want to get builders involved. We want to get people that are like going to make this even bigger than it is. And the exciting thing for me is that every single major company or business that we've talked to, they're not at all laughing us out of the room. They're like, wow, this is a very legitimate group. We absolutely can do something with Polkadot, built on the Polkadot network. So
nice.
With that, we're like, okay, we're not going to, we can obviously reformat what we're going to ask for, what we would like to continue doing with this, because this is something that we want to continue to build. This is not supposed to just be a 6 to 8 month program. We would love to continue doing this because this is what we are trying to do. So we wanted to bring on Paul Sparta, who is the CEO of VBrick Systems. Paul has been a supporter of my career since I was like 14 years old. VBrick was on my helmet as a small partner. He's invested in my career, but he's also just been a great mentor to me from the business side, because he is extremely smart. He has been extremely successful in all of his businesses that he's been a part of. And so we could talk a bunch about the referendum, but I just want to give you guys an example of what we have done actually already to integrate basically Polkadot into, more businesses. So Paul, go ahead. You can talk more about VBrick and everything that you guys are kind of working on for sure.
Welcome, Paul.
Hey, thanks everybody. This is my first time here, so it's a little bit wacky, but I love it. Yeah, CEO of VBrick Systems, and just to give you a quick understanding of what we are, we're a provider of an enterprise video platform. We work with larger companies. So if you look at our customers, these be enterprise wide, would be Boeing, Ford, Novo Nordisk, UBS, all these sorts of large enterprises, FedEx, and you kind of have to think of us as sort of a large enterprise version of YouTube or Twitch, only it's in the enterprise software world. So we're pretty deep partners with entities like ServiceNow. AWS is a big partner. And, one of the things that we've been looking at, and that for a while in our world, and everybody's seen it, is the rise of sort of deep faking and video authenticity and that sort of thing. And you can imagine with our customer base, it's a huge issue. And we've been looking at blockchain technology to deploy, to create some sort, to create an immutable sort of alternative to the traditional digital rights management structures, which are very monolithic and all driven by royalty asks. And so we knew there was something there. And really, by working, through the relationship with Connor, I'm not a hardcore, I'm an enterprise software guy, but I'm not really like deep into the blockchain world. But we knew that was the right tech. And then Connor's association, you started talking about Polkadot. So we got our technical organization, CTO, everything looking at that. And we realized, wow, this is probably the right blockchain platform for us. Like Polkadot is got all the aspects, especially with some of the new stuff going on and the transactional stuff, that we feel it's a really great program to work with. And so we're probably spending right now with BlockDeep Labs about $500,000 across the board. And we are building, we are starting today, in fact, building on the Polkadot chain, an alternative approach to identifying authenticity of media content. So it's really a media authenticity framework powered by, on the Polkadot chain. But because video has the particular problem of being such huge objects, you can't persistently store on the blockchain efficiently, terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of video to get a trusted source, not to mention you can't distribute it fast enough. So we're actually creating on our side, with our deep video expertise, a way to actually keep, to take the immutability of what we get in a blockchain record and map that into actual validated authentic sources of media, primarily video, but it can really be anything. We're going to be presenting this and demoing this at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the beginning of October for a big race that Connor's driving in. It's an 8-hour sports car race, but we're also doing the VBrick Executive Summit and an Analyst Day there. So we will have the CISO of Amazon, that is of all Amazon. We're going to have executives from ServiceNow. We're going to have executives from our customer base there. And we're really trying to flip the entire digital rights management structure on its head. What would this mean? Well, it's going to involve a pretty big campaign of really, it's a standard adoption of a completely different way of thinking about authenticity for media. And if you think about what the target is in terms of transactions numbers, and hey, everybody, hold on to your hats. We're talking about millions of transactions a day because we're talking about
Whoa.
millions of transactions a day. We're talking about a slice of the global entire digital upload of video. Now, it's not going to be for general consumers initially or small content creators initially. But when you think about all the large enterprises that want absolute validity and authenticity control of their proprietary content, it's massive.
Oh, wow.
It's absolutely mammoth. And this thing is taking a life of its own. And I'm new to the process here, very new to the process here at Polkadot, but I would say you can probably expect as our spend and development work continues on the project for us, that there'll be a whole new referendum that we don't even know what number or name or how it works built up about what we're going to do just for this project. But it is, I would say, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of announcements coming out in the next couple of weeks, and the community will do our best to work through Chris and Jay and whoever, all the people we meet to keep the community updated on what our progress is going to be. But it's a pretty exciting thing.
Well, Paul, you may be new, but you fit right in. Thanks for that exciting update. So, if I could just get this right, Paul. So, in the spring, the Polkadot DAO agreed to sponsor Connor Daly, which led to talking to a fellow like you, which is leading you to invest in basically like an MVP to present to, what did you call it? The what of Amazon?
Well, no, the CISO, I mean, Amazon's going to be involved in this
Yep.
because we're big partners with Amazon. We're kind of joined at the hip with them on the platform from a platform perspective.
Okay.
But what we're really talking about is it's if you look at the concept of digital rights management as an overall framework for how people try to go back and claw back royalties and copyright control and that sort of thing. We're trying to flip that model on its head by using blockchain to, rather than to say, hey, is this authorized or is it not authorized, and running it with lawyers, we actually want to create a public immutable record of exactly what the rights are and authenticity control is of every piece of media that you want to know that is authentic. So when you think about that, it kind of makes your head explode. At least it makes mine explode.
Wow.
On what we're talking about. We're actually trying to create an authentic media network standard. But the hard part about it, we're a company like VBrick, what's our role in it is dealing with the video asset side of it is very complex in and of itself because it's such a fat asset. So in any case, that's what we're doing. And we're going to be presenting the first operational demo of that, I think in October. And then we're going to go from there and push it into our customer base and push it into Amazon. And our intention is to open source the entire framework. So we foresee our framework being part of YouTube, Amazon, Twitch, everything.
Oh my. Okay, we have about a minute and a half left of this presentation here. Does anybody want to speak up, questions, comments, or maybe from the daily team here wanting to wrap up how this all fits together?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want to be respectful of the time for sure, and Paul's been awesome, but yeah, I mean, this is obviously we've tried to create this relationship. We've tried to prove that this isn't just cool pictures on the internet. We're going to go for something that is much different. This is why we want to continue this proposal. Might we have to reformat our current referendum? Yeah, absolutely. But we want to make sure that we are still able to represent in the future. So I don't know if Andrew has anything to add, but yeah.
I want to be mindful of the time. Appreciate it, everyone. So hopefully this shows a little bit more value and insight to what we're doing.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Gotham and Block Deep Labs too. I mean, in a short amount of time, they've worked great with Paul and VBrick on bringing this MVP to life. So we should have a lot more information here in the next couple months and have something to show off in October.
This is crazy, guys. This is Web3. This is the verifiable internet. And I can't believe that we're hearing about this here on AAG. I want to thank you all very much for coming on and sharing this, and hope to see you guys next week in the coming weeks.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it as always.
That is totally mental. Now, look, I got some breaking news here. Oh no, I lost it. It was a post from Limo. Limo?
Is this the Mythos one?
Yeah, here it is. I'm throwing it up on the screen now. What can you tell us? You some sort of Mythos insider?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, so there's I believe it's the Parity Data team and Colorful Notion. have been working on making sure the airdrop gets distributed properly. And I believe they've come to some agreement on which accounts get which allocation. So there's a link to the June Analytics dashboard, so you can put your address in there, and you can see how much tokens you get airdropped.
Oh, whoa, okay. I'm going to post this in the chat so everybody can see how much. Let me get this here. So you just put your address where?
Let me find it. I believe you put your address in this. Okay, so on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
where it says like query results, if you
Yeah.
scroll down,
Yeah.
you'll see it says like 128,000 rows.
Yeah.
I think you put your address in there.
Right in there. Okay, good stuff. We'll be excited to get that out the door. And what can we expect this to happen in the next few weeks? Mid-September? What do you know? Whoa.
Hopefully in September, I would guess.
1,200 myth, Ben?
Damn.
Big.
That is
Big.
huge. All right. Let's keep moving here. Thanks for that breaking news there, Limo.
No worries.
We're going to roll into a discussion having to do with chain analysis. We've had another provider of something similar. Now, we've heard a lot of acronyms lately: AML, CTF, KYT. I think other ones as well. They all claim to kind of be doing similar things. But let's bring Global Ledger up first for a short presentation. Then we'll get chain analysis on, and then maybe we'll just give a little bit of an extended period to contrast and compare here. So Global Ledger is looking for 20,000 DOT. This decision period has just started, and we've had almost no votes so far, just $106,000 worth of DOT. But let's hear from the folks at Global Ledger. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us. It's first time. Yeah, appreciate that. Can I share some slides?
Of course, yeah, you can share your screen. I'm starting the timer now.
Okay. Yeah, so let me briefly tell you about ourselves. So we are a Swiss company. We do KYT, ML, all these crazy words that you say. But in general, what does it mean is for banks and crypto exchanges and regulators, we provide the tools for them to do their job properly. For victims of cybercrime, we help to return stolen funds. So actually just yesterday, we returned around 1,000 ETH stolen from one crypto exchange with Estonian law enforcement. So it was pretty good. Notably, we work with entities like Council of Europe or UNODC. So yeah, in Europe, we have a bunch of clients and around 100,000 transactions daily. We check for AML risks, as we say. The reason why we reached you out is we think community is at a very important point now that we call a regulatory adoption gap. What does it mean is it's literally the point where regulators understand you, will start to understand you, will know how to work with you, will know how to perform investigations, will get statistics and data to do decisions like ETFs maybe, or it could be securities approval, exchange licenses, and things like that. This gap actually grows with more liquidity. So the bigger you will be, the more things you would have to do to qualify. That's the thing to know. And this is how it looks like, right? So what's inside the gap, right? I mapped it in a very simple thing. So you get yourself, that's the first thing you encounter. That's liquidity parasites. That's how we call them. Then watchdogs and regulatory perks. Who are these liquidity parasites? This is like darknet guys, terrorists, people that are selling child porn materials, darknet, hackers, scammers, all these guys. What you have to know about them is that they attack your best use case. They cause you conflict with regulators, and they are attracted by liquidity. In general, they want two things: grab your coins for free like steal or exit scam or something like that, or dump you a bunch of dirty coins from, let's say, dark trade and get your clean coins. Examples of their activity in terms of attacking the best use case, right? In Bitcoin, there was decentralized cross-border payments, and then Darknet immediately exploited that. In Ethereum, we all found out how to raise money with smart contracts pretty quickly, millions in seconds, and then we have these ICO exit scams. In DeFi as well, we have rug pulls, DeFi hacks. In Tron, we now have phishing attacks powered by, let's say, delegation of energy and bandwidth. In Bitcoin, let's say, all this activity caused sort of a conflict with regulators. Let's say in Bitcoin, if you're old enough, you remember how we all lost access to fiat in exchanges. In ICO, we just lost money and things like that. Watchdogs, these are mostly like regulators and law enforcement. So they protect large pools of liquidity, mainly institutions and mass market, from parasites. Interestingly, they need tools to do their job. If they don't have tools to understand the blockchain, they cannot approve anything. They cannot, even if you go to law enforcement and say, hey, I got my crypto stolen, if they cannot investigate, chances you get proper evidence for the court or get your hacker's account blocked at exchange are very low. Yeah, and the perks is everything great that you can imagine. It's the heaven on earth. It's the access to TradFi, access to liquidity, mass adoption, all these things. I mean, I put them in a couple links here, like compliant stablecoins. That's already a thing. You cannot just launch a stablecoin in Europe. They have to be compliant to MiCA. ETFs also something where people go. I mean, it's not maybe your stage yet, but also you have to qualify. How do you cross the regulatory adoption gap? Like what people usually do, like literally any blockchain ecosystem that is promising would start with three things. They pretend the parasites don't exist, or they think that they will kind of somehow avoid them. They fight, avoid, resist watchdogs, especially, regulators, that are watching them and things like that. And in terms of regulatory perks, they say we have it. Let's say, I mean, it's a fair thing to say now that Polkadot have, listings at licensed exchanges. What else you need to do, right? It's a very fair thing to say. The problems with that is that parasites, they're very professional and organized. You cannot kind of avoid them. They will come with liquidity as they see it, and you're going to fight them on your own. The watchdogs, they're too powerful. They can put you in jail. I mean, the cases with Telegram co-founder or founder, kind of recent proof to that. And regulatory perks, they are temporary. I mean, if you get attention of watchdogs and if you get a lot of parasites, you can quickly lose it. I mean, there's many coins that are listed from exchanges, for example. The strategy is very simple. It's extremely simple, actually. So you have to feed the parasites to watchdogs, and then you can enjoy the regulatory perks. So you don't, like, compared to this is just so low effort. It's just so cheap. It's literally, you get friends with what you get friendship with watchdogs, so you get yourself less parasites. Great. So the strategy is very simple. You have to do 3 steps. You have to spot, report, and enjoy. That's it. But in order to spot the parasites and report them, you need to understand how to do that. Like, what do you actually need to do? Where do you even start? I can tell you what you have to do right now. It's very simple. You have to go to the referenda 1121. You have to vote aye. You have to wait 3-4 weeks. You will get yourself ability spot and report. And we guide you through all the next steps. So it's fairly easy commitment on your side. And we will make sure we educate you on how to do all these next steps. Because if you think about that, do you even have a person in your team to know what to do with parasites, like how to spot them, how to use all these tools, and where to report? You probably don't have even the person in your team. I mean, I was doing DeFi in 2011. Oh no, in 2018. Sorry, in 2018. And the first requests from law enforcement we were like, oh my gosh, whom do we even like allocate this? Whom do we assign this task to? Like, we have developers and marketers. Like, what do we do? We try to make our proposal. If you read it, you will see that there's a benefit for every community member. So everyone get his tool or service. It's so everyone can benefit from it, really. So foundation gets something, crypto business get that ability to support and report. All the users get cybercrime protection, and we will help you to investigate cybercrime. Law enforcement will get training to help you if you reach them out, or we can literally be an expert witness to help you in a court case or to block your exchange, not your exchange account, but the hacker's exchange account. Yeah, so everyone really benefit from this proposal. And what's in the end? You see, like, what's after the regulatory adoption gap? It's probably not even like what you get, because you already got regulatory perks. It's whom you become. So you may be like the community that is educated and skilled in compliance. You're in sync and with in good relations with regulators. You can collectively defend yourself from cybercrime, and you have 3 years of no cost and non-barriers for compliance, because people usually hesitate to spend because they think it's a sheer cost that will scare the clients. So you have no costs and non-barriers on that. And how to get here? It's very simple. You have to go to referendum 1121, vote aye, wait 3-4 weeks, and we get to your ability to support and report. YGL.
Just so you know, Lex, we got about 20 seconds left.
Yeah, it's literally my last slide.
Go ahead.
So YGL, it's very low cost to start. It's only 20,000 DOT. It's a very low compared to other options. It's very fast results. In fact, we already have the MVP while we were preparing to that, so I even can show it. And it's for everyone, and it has more parent chains in the offer. Cool. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's right on time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to keep rolling here, and we're going to save kind of a comparative discussion for a little bit later, but it is notable. This proposal is asking for 20,000 DOT, which is worth $75,500 today. Then we have the Chainalysis proposal for 6.5 million, and then the open source KYT 508,000. But not all proposals are alike. So let's hear what the folks from Chainalysis have to say today.
Hello, Jay.
Georgie, welcome back.
Yeah, I will start. Maybe I think I have already covered everything about the Chainalysis proposal on my side. So today I want to address something very wonderful for me about the Diego Sanchez X post he made this week. I see that he doesn't hear, but I hear that Benjamin is here, so I can talk about this post. So Don Diego this Monday published a post on X spreading a false information, and one of them is lie, and acting a totally inappropriate way from the professional that is here. So Mr. Don Diego touched a bank like BBVA, La Caixa, Santander, and others, along with Polkadot. All this dragging this drama out of our ecosystem involving people who have nothing to do with it. So my question is, Benjamin, Don Diego is not here, but guys, you understand that with this action, you put my deal at risk. Some of these banks that actually you touch it, it's my lead. So I'm working near 1 year and maybe more, and I'm not able to throw all in the bin by someone who doesn't know how to act like professional. So this needs to be discussed internally and not putting at risk future deals. This is a future deals from Polkadot. It's not my deals, okay? So also, no one of these banks and company want public negotiation, and they don't want to be involved in any noisy discussion. But yeah, Mr. Don Diego make everything public, putting my agreement at risk and involving other banks that they have nothing to do with it.
So just to be clear, the bank that was mentioned, was it by name last week, is actually a lead you were already working on, and you're saying that because they discussed it publicly, they put the deal at risk?
I send the link in the chat. You can see it.
Okay.
So with this, it's exposing the Polkadot drama in the way that in the future, no one will want to know anything about the Polkadot. So this conduct, I think, is in becoming for someone who is supposed to present Polkadot, and Don Diego already is a head ambassador. It's a clear example also of what not to do. And also to confirm that, ScoreChain retweet this tweet, spreading this false information. And let's see what is the lie. I say that is one lie, not false information. It's false information and also one lie. So Don Diego claimed he will bring BD with this proposal and mentioned that Onice will be the one of the 4 companies that will build in Polkadot and also handling marketing and BD effort. You can see in the final of the tweet. So Don Diego, you are not here, but maybe then you were listening. So I was the one who brought Onice into our ecosystem years ago, or maybe a little bit more. And even the former of BD team at Paritic know that this. So you can ask Nicola Rebel or Nick. So when I see this, immediately I call to Angel and Enrique, the CEO of Onice, and he confirmed that this is not true. They haven't made any commitment to provide BD or marketing to Polkadot relating to ScoreChain proposal.
Oh.
So what's happened? ScoreChain write an email to Onice to ask for marketing and BD support on 22 of August. Without receiving any confirmation, Don Diego post this spreading this false information, and then in Tuesday, Enrique, who is the co-founder, sent an email to Benjamin that Onice don't give any support to ScoreChain. So please, this is an internal discussion. Don't post this type of discussion on X. We have a forum. We have a Polka assembly to make this discussion on the healthy way. Okay. So please delete this post. Apologize to the Polkadot community to put at risk future deals. That it's not my deal. It's a deal from the Polkadot that will be happen. And also to involving a company that they don't have nothing about this drama, and also strict false information and also lie. Only with the one objective to approve their proposal and damage the other one. And the last one now, Benjamin, I see that you are in the room. In the ScoreChain blog, I send the link. You say that Polkadot has been integrated in the ScoreChain SaaS solution since 2022. So this is 2 years ago. My question is, if you haven't been able to bring any value to Polkadot in this time, in these 2 years, what will be the difference with this integration that you have made now? In my opinion, I think it will be the same.
That's okay.
The same.
I think there was a misunderstanding with Santander because basically what we said is that ScoreChain is delivering the tool to Cassis, which is part of the group of Crédit Agricole and Santander, which means that
Benjamin, don't print more lie. I have our email that you cruise with Enrique. So I can do this public. Also I can invite actually just now Angel from Onice to say the same that I say. So please, it's
talking about
easy. I don't want to damage your image. Okay, only I want to delete this tweet. This is not the way to do discussion. Do it internally in Polka Assembly on the forum.
Georgie, I need to explain to you because you are misunderstanding some things. We are not speaking about Onize. I'm starting first with what you said about the bank. The bank, this is true because this is Cassis group. You're not talking about Onize right now. Onize has been using ScoreChain as well as a second tool, as you may know.
Benjamin, you touched BBVA, Santander, La Caixa, their Spanish bank. Okay, only one of these is your client. In the other one, only you touch it. Okay, but you can do it in X. You can go in the forum and talk about the banks that you want. You can mention the BlackRock, whatever you want, but not at X. That there is a deal behind this. This is not the way. You are not professional, and Don Diego was. Okay,
well,
so
if this is something that
my question in your time, please.
I need to talk.
I don't waste my time, so I will give the word to Christian to say something about the proposal, and then if you want to make your response to my question, do it in your time. So,
Fine.
Christian, take the word, please.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, Christian. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me back here again.
Always nice to see you. We've got about 2 minutes left, but we're going to have a bigger discussion after.
Yeah, no worries, my friend. I mean, I think we already explained the proposal from last week meeting, and last time you guys asked me to review whether the proposal from ScoreChain would be something that we could some kind of use. There was a connector offered by them, an open source connector there. So I brought that back, into the companies, asked the people, etc. So, and pretty much the engineers said, guys, for us, in order to evaluate this, we need to see that connector, which means that doesn't exist today, and there is a lot we would need to unpack here about that connector, which we cannot, let's say, qualify upfront with that proposal. So pretty much it is something we would need to evaluate when that exists, which doesn't mean that we're going to use it, but means that, yeah, I mean, something we are open to evaluate. Having said that, we have our unique way to work, indexing, blocks, etc. And yeah, and we think that it's a good idea. We may not use it, but perhaps it's a good idea for other companies in the future that want to use it. So it doesn't look bad. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing we can say today. Apologies for the short answer. But, given the 2 minutes left, I think it's appropriate.
Okay, we're going to talk about it more very soon, but let's bring one more into the mix. I guess, Benjamin, you already had a bit of a say here, but let's take a look at what you wanted to present today on Ref 1083. This is the open source KYT that Christian was just talking about. This one, 508,000 USDC, sitting at 39.2% in favor, halfway through the decision period. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. So just to let you everyone know, the goal of this proposal is to create a Polkadot connector, which kind of allows any KYT provider, so speaking about Chainalysis as well, Crystal blockchain and others, to benefit from an easy to use cross-ecosystem transaction and value transfer analysis solution. And basically this will enable all the provider to provide compliance solutions for regulated actors, as we all do. Basically, in this current market, all the actors, the large actors, are using several tools. That's why, because we talked about Onise, for instance, for example, they were using, and they are using Chainalysis and ScoreChain, because some tools are specialized in forensics, other are specialized, other specialty like automation, operations, and this is where ScoreChain stands, where Chainalysis is wonderful when it comes to forensics analysis. This is why we want to create this open source tool that helps all providers to be able to cover Polkadot, basically. We want to maintain this for 3 years and basically provide the full KYT coverage for relay chain, the most active parachains, and again, enabling regulators actors to offer financial services secured by Polkadot before the end of 2025. And basically all of our current customers will have access to 1 year for free of the coverage of Polkadot. Speaking of CACEIS, which CACEIS is the group of Crédit Agricole and Santander, DZ Bank, which is the second largest bank in Germany, Deka Bank, which is also a large bank in Germany, and we have won the RFPs really recently with them. So they will be able to have access to Polkadot coverage for free, and all other financial actors that we currently help. We have more than 350 customers currently in 45 different countries. So they will all have access to the Polkadot coverage from this. Also, we will provide 15 free licenses to the head of ambassador and BDT to distribute to financial actors, building products and services. And of course, integrates Polkadot in the ScoreChain marketing and launch dedicated campaign about the coverage. So this is the goal, and this is what we can do with 500K for 3 years. And basically, like I mentioned, large actors will have different tools at the end. So it could be a chain analysis, it could be a score chain, or it could be another one. But the Polkadot connector will kind of help all of the KYC providers to provide Polkadot to the entire ecosystem. The customers that use another provider will have easy access to this, basically. So I just wanted to point this out, and just for you to say, I will talk to Don if this is not the appropriate way to do, but we never lied in a way. The thing that when you said about Santander and so on, this is through the Caseis ecosystem because they are a group. Regarding Onise, they have been using Score Chain for a year now and with Chainalysis, and I've been talking with Enrique, and basically the feedback I had from him is that they wanted to have Polkadot, basically. This is the only thing that they wanted. And if they are using Chainalysis and Score Chain, both should have Polkadot coverage at the end. And basically, based on the link that you sent from 2022, is because we have two different coverage systems in Score Chain. We have a light and we have a full. The full is a blockchain analysis. It's a full blockchain transactional analysis. We have direct connectors in real time with the blockchain, while the light is basically a database of information we have from the blockchain. So if we know if a Polkadot wallet is connected with a sanction list, we will have it. But we will have no interaction and interconnection with the blockchain. So it means that we covered Polkadot in 2022 in a light, and we want to cover it in a full, because without the full, the regulators cannot, the actors cannot be regulated in a way. So this is just to let you know, Georgia, about that. But if that makes complication, we are not here to create movement. We're not here to argue with anything. We are all in the same market. We are in the same ecosystem. We all bring value in our own way. So I will talk to Don if this is not the appropriate way, and I don't want to make waves about this.
Very, very good. Limo, you watch The Bachelorette on ABC?
We don't have ABC here, mate.
Ooh. Well, you know, one of the common pieces of that show is, you know, one of the eligible bachelors will use their time talking shit about the other bachelors to the Bachelorette, which always ends up backfiring. And they usually don't end up getting a rose, actually, I would say 100% of the time. And we heard a few things. We heard some attacks today. We also heard some calls for, you know, maybe multiple approaches. Could be an industry standard. But I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes right now and ask that people take their time to ask questions of any of the presenters here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Who wants to go first? Some questions, comments, concerns, or gotchas? Let's get going. Let's go with Everett. Welcome to the show, sir. Nice to see you.
Hi. Well, I am not an expert on any of this, but given the three proposals that we just listened to, Global Ledgers is the cheapest, and it seems that they're focused on providing tools. You know, maybe it makes sense that they go first, and then the other two see, okay, does that help with making their proposals cheaper? Perhaps they said they could also do it pretty quick, within 3 to 4 weeks. So maybe it's something where, you know, a small investment up front leads to more cheaper work long term. I'm not sure. Just a thought.
Yeah, the 20,000 DOT for the Global Ledger here kind of seems like a steal, although their decision period is going to end last. So we'll have to see. Yes, who else would like to say something? Angela.
I just wanted to ask a question to Global Ledger about the regulator. Can you just expand on the regulator comment in terms of how you interface, what kind of, just expand on that piece of protection that we would have.
Should I? Did you ask about score chain or chain analysis? Or basically,
would you like to
that's for me.
Sorry.
So in general, there are a few ways we can interface you with the regulator, and we can build up this relationship. First, these are mutual events and exchange with policymakers. Let's say there's, in Europe, if you're thinking about European projects, even DeFi's, by MiCA, DeFi's, if they get profit, they will be regulated. So meeting you with like authors of MiCA, for example, might be a nice step. But then also there could be mutual meetings with guys like BaFin on other like local regulations, regulators in Switzerland as well. Meeting you with these guys, that's the one type of interface. The second type of interface, it's interface with law enforcement. On this, you usually don't go if you don't have any specific requests, but if you have a case, or if they have a case, then you need someone to translate between you. So usually when new projects, they get requests from law enforcement, and especially if the blockchain is not that easy for them to understand, the translation is an issue. The survey is basically participating in policymaking. So it may be the same as the first, but I would make it different, because you might advocate for some laws or some changes to the law. You might participate in organizations to fight financial crime. Active participation from certain blockchains helped a lot of things. Well, these are probably the main three.
Can I just expand, I guess, maybe on my question, because we already have relationships with regulators. At least the Web3 Foundation, as the issuer of the DOT, already has Switzerland covered, MiCA covered, US covered. We've already been to Congress, to help with the Fit 21 bill, the GC and Web3. I mean, we've already kind of, covered those bases. So I guess, how would we marry all of those very strong relationships we already have with this technology?
You give them technology, you give them tools. So you provide them with a tool and statistics you want them to see. So let's say you want them to see there's a stable coins moving to Polkadot, for example, or you want them to see that, some statistics on DeFi, maybe to create a sandbox or something like that, right? Or maybe there's a very nice move, for example, by a company named Bitwise, when they proved, when they were applying for ETFs, they proved that real volume of BTC is actually on licensed exchanges, and the fake volume of BTC is actually on like fake exchanges. It's just a fairy dust. It's just a wash trading, right? So you have the statistics and tools, so they can understand your ecosystem and make decisions based on that. So you basically, when you say about that, they need the proof, right? So what we give you is the proof or the tool to get the proof.
And then I guess on the policymaking side, even though we have relationships there, what do you work with a lobbyists firm? Like how do you provide the bridge between us and policymakers?
Well, I would say we can support that because if you lobby in something, you need the data to put some decisions into work. But I wouldn't say we take that responsibility to lobby something. That's not our main business model.
I just meant, how do you make the connections to the policymakers? Because that could be additive if we already have relationships.
Look, if you have the relationship already, you can say that you can confirm that they're pretty open people. So you can open doors, you can talk to them, you can show them, you can arrange a presentation, you can you can do a lot of things. And generally, this new generation of policymakers, especially in Europe, especially people around MiCA, they're very open people.
Let's hear from Mr. Sontelin, and then Mario, we're going to get to you.
I just wanted to support Angelo on this. I'm from Chainalysis. I'm a regional director, and this is something we actually really do strongly at Chainalysis. We're considered, we always enter into discussion with policymakers, regulation makers before in Europe, in US. Personally, I'm also working in Turkey for my region, for example. So this is something we do. We have a team, geography based, and we are usually, we work with regulators to support them understanding what kind of AML is anti-money laundering and CFT is counter-financial terrorism laws you have to apply and regulations you have applied to blockchain space. So in this case, we would be very happy to make introductions. We definitely have early engagements with our regulators.
Thank you very much. Mario, what do you want to ask?
Yeah, two quick questions for Benjamin. So the proposal that you have is indeed with it's 3 years. You said the developing would cost us 6 months. Why don't we have then smaller milestones for this, and make a little bit more agile and tangible for everyone.
Yeah, this is actually something that I could share to the team if we want to kind of modify this. I think 3 years is kind of a standard if our customers want to cover Polkadot. It's also a fact that they don't want to have it for a year if they start putting money in it, actually. So if we say that we cover Polkadot only for 1 year to them, that we say, why do we put the resources to cover Polkadot on their side if there are crypto exchanges and so on, so of the listing and so on. So I think it's maybe of the standard there from the product manager when it comes to 3 years, but this is something that potentially I could raise a question.
I understand, but now you put the risk on the treasury, of course. So that imagine that after 4 months or 5 months, it is not working. We actually, as treasury, paid for 3 years. So the risk is now at the treasury if we do it like that. So it's better to do it in small pieces.
Well noted. I will share this feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. No more questions regarding timing. It's better.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts before we wrap up here? Or Christian, did you have anything you wanted to add? Because I got cut a bit short there before.
No. I think first I wanted to thank all the Polkadot community to give us the opportunity to collaborate with them, with all of you guys, and also with I think that there is a good journey coming. We have already a draft plan that is gonna rock. So yeah, thank you, and yeah, hope to start working the sooner the better.
Awesome.
And if I can add it from also my side, just as a closing, I want to reiterate that since we've been working with this proposal for a while, first proposal, now a second proposal, I can testify that the whole Chainalysis, the two co-founders, the engineering, the go-to-market, everybody's on board, and we really want to partner. We want to get this successful for everybody. We really believe that Chainalysis on the market has a great brand, which could be leveraged by you to hopefully, let me say, increase visibility and reputation and accelerate adoption by institutions. That's a little bit, the side effect that we're looking to bring for this partnership. And there's a full commitment on our side, and really looking forward to work together.
Okay, awesome stuff. Anybody else who spoke today want to wrap it up? All good. Okay, epic. Thanks very much, guys. Really interesting conversation. We'll have to see how this goes. So, oh, there it is. Perfect. Chainalysis is going to conclude first, it appears, currently just over the 50% mark. What are we at there, guys? We're at 61.4% in favor. That's going to be followed by the open source KYT, just followed slightly behind. This is at 39.2% in favor right now. And as we said at the top of the show, the global ledger just got into the game. So we have a long few weeks for that one before we know what's up. Okay, good stuff. Thanks very much, everybody. We are going to just take a quick bullish break here. I'm going to send this in the chat here because it looks like Inter Miami just dropped video of the greatest of all time wearing the Polkadot jersey. I put in the chat there. People on the call aren't going to be able to hear this when I play it, but let's see what we got here. Hold on, reload.
Buenos días. Hello, my friend. Need some of these shots? There it is. Okay. You sure? I see you. Go to that. Good morning. Buenas. Buenos días. Buenos días. Buenos días.
Oh, damn. How cool is that? That is good to see. All right, nice stuff. Messi and Polkadot. I can't believe it. Yeah, Lima, what do you got to say?
On the press release, the jerseys didn't have sleeves, but Messi's one has sleeves. Sleeves are confirmed.
Thank God. No, honestly.
Actually, Limo, I think we're going to be on the long sleeves, the short sleeve bibs, the regular T-shirt size bibs. So there's
jackets.
Any training kit. Jacket, I'm not sure if that's considered the training kit. I'll have to check on that. But yeah, any training kit material we should be on.
Damn, that's bullet.
just and also before we move on here, Limo, I did want to let you know that Bachelorette Jen Tran ended up choosing Devin on this week's finale. He was carried to the end by his positive attitude and slight resemblance to Pete Davidson. I want to congratulate Jen Tran on the great choice. We wish you all the best in the future. So let's go. Now we're going to throw it to Mario, who was just chatting in the last bit there. This is from Pitch to Market, enhancing founder success with PokeBiz, approaching the halfway mark of the decision period and asking for 94,800 USDT. Currently struggling with 40.5 million against, almost 3 million for. It could go either way here. Mario, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Jay. I have a short presentation, so I hope you guys can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So, short introduction about PolkaBiz and our new proposal. So actually what we want to do is PolkaBiz, we want to prepare the startups to become investment ready. That's basically what we want. Now, wait, all right. So, as you know, I'm Mario. Tristan is also here. He's my co-founder. We launched PolkaBiz shortly after graduating from the PBA in Hong Kong. It was earlier this year. And we are entrepreneurs ourselves. So we totally understand the struggle also that startups have. And we want to help them. Now, our first proposal was, strange enough, overwhelmingly approved. It ran from April through August this year. It has a total budget of 75,500. Main objective, just to test out whether we could establish a kind of program in a very short time to support startups and successfully introduce them to investors. Now, in just 5 months, I think we have accomplished something really, really remarkable. We started from scratch. There was nothing, zero. So we developed a logo, launched a website. We created a comprehensive pitch and mentor program to support the selected startups in Singapore during the PBA. We also distributed a prize pool of 10,000 baht, which, if I think about it right now, is nearly the same as the budget for our current proposal. We also organized a Brink pitch session. Brink is a global venture accelerator. We hosted a founders and investor night with over 40 investors. It was also complete with free food, amazing free food and drinks. And additionally, we collaborated with Clarity to deliver a presentation on pitching at Decoded. And I was extremely proud to see our logo featured in the keynote, especially considering, you know, we had only been around for a few months. Now, the true measures of success is what the participants have to say. So I'm proud to share that 96% of the startups we helped recommend our pitch and mentor program. Now, in our new proposal, we've included testimonials from 8 startups and 2 members of the PBA staff. And today I can also announce, pretty proud of that thanks to our mentoring, 1 startup has received a grant for decentralized futures. Now, I always say, do what you say and say what you do. That's why we communicated openly on our website every month about what we have accomplished. Now, this level of transparency even caught the attention of OG Tracker, who noted, hey, we expect more proposers to adopt such high level of transparency. Now, this proposal, based on the success what we had, we've put forward a follow-up proposal, which runs till the end of December. The budget is around 95,000. We've put a lot of effort into this proposal. In fact, it is a 20-page document. So let's say, and let's explain what we are planning to do. Now, in our first proposal, our focus was only on one thing, pitch and mentor. What we want to do right now is we want to expand it, and we want to call it a kind of accelerator. So first, we want to offer free content on the website. It's actually inspired by an idea from Sean, even if he doesn't know it. So now the thing is, why do we want to do this? Now, we realize at each stage of the process, there are selections. But what if we provide, in the beginning, free general content on pitching, value propositions, etc. for everyone? Then we have our pitch and mentor program. has already been thoroughly tested, but in this proposal, we want to expand it and to include an online version. Now, the next two blocks in our, we call it 4 steps rocket, we developed in response to the startup feedback. So advanced support is designed for high potential startups, offering services like co-creating, like papers, providing in-depth mentorship, offering strategic advice, that kind of stuff. And the final component is what we call go-to-market. It will be, and we will test it out, a paid option. So offering tailored consulting for both startups and scale-ups. And the goal here is to reduce our reliance on the treasury by generating revenue ourselves from participating companies. Now, what is important to know that in our proposal, we've also included a portal, and that doesn't seem to be clear for everyone, a portal where all startups and scale-ups can showcase their business on a single page. Now, this portal, it's actually a kind of website. It can be shared with investors or used for business development. For instance, as a BD, you can go to the site and search for companies active in the automotive industry or which have been working in the government or whatever. So this portal for us will be crucial for our entire strategy. Now, our collaboration with the PBA will continue. In fact, Tim from the PBA has mentioned for this new proposal the following: the PolkaBiz team brings skills and experience that we don't have elsewhere in our faculty or team. And in Singapore, PolkaBiz formed an important part of the overall package that we deliver to students, partners, and investors. So you should think everyone is speaking so enthusiastic about our proposal. And we just help founders in our ecosystem. Isn't that a great thing? Well, our proposal is currently failing. And I think, to be honest, one issue is budget. We hear it everywhere today. There is a strong focus on financials rather than on the value being created. Now, the issue is not unique to our proposal. I think we will have a couple of proposals today as well. But to be honest, if we, and that has nothing to do with PolkaBiz right now, but I think if we as a community continue with the mindset, I think we risk overlooking the long-term effects. Because I think the message we're sending now is that while Polkadot may be great technology, once you try to build something on it, you're on your own. And that is for me actually a real disappointment. Now, we did also something not so really good in this new proposal, and some people got really frightened about that. We used a bad word in our proposal: events. Now, basically what we want to do to clarify everything is this was a test case regarding events. It was setting up a small booth at a Web2 event. So we picked the biggest one we know with 70,000 attendees. The goal is to showcase our own Polkadot startups and scale-ups to a kind of leaflet or whatever that we have. We want to attract new individuals interested in transitioning to the Web3 Polkadot ecosystem. And third, we want to connect with potential investors whom we can invite in our new matchmaking event. That's basically what we want from events. So to end, PolkaBiz primary objective is simple. We want to ensure the success of the startups we support, and in return, it creates success for Polkadot and the entire community. Now, we also thought about that, Christian and I, what will happen if the PolkaBiz initiative fails? No support for startups. They will have no contacts with investors. And what we see already happening is they finally submit a proposal on OpenGov. The chances of rejections are high because no one knows who they are. And I think for founders, this is incredibly discouraging. We constantly shout about, look how great our technology is, but yet, we turn our backs on founders trying to take their, the founders that are trying to take their first step on our platform, we just turn our back on them. So my question to all the smart people here also in this room is, what is next? In my opinion, it should be easy for founders to take their first steps on Polkadot. And I think, I don't call it an obligation. I feel it that way, but I can't say it. But I did now anyhow. I think we must support them in that process. Now, when I look at the voting on our proposal, it seems the community feels differently. And that's also why, imagine that you heard our story today, you haven't voted yet, or you have voted first no, and you hear this story and you truly believe that we need to do something with founders and we need to support them. It's not a shame to go to vote yes here. But I also want to ask today in the room, how do you think we should support actually startups? If our current approach works for the startups and investors, but it lacks community backing, how can we as PolkaBiz improve? What does founder support look like you? Because right now, for me, and I didn't discuss it now with Chris, it feels like we're pushing founders away from Polkadot and right into the arms of our competitors. So,
all right, sir, we're at time here. We're at time. Thank you for your passion and your presentation here. Because we're at time, I did just want to engage the audience who's chatting on YouTube here. We did have a question. First of all, just real quick, because we are at time here. How long has PolkaBiz been operational?
We started when we ended the Polka. So we started when it ended the PPA in Hong Kong. So it's from March, April, something like that.
Okay, nice. Okay, Jacob Gregus has this question: how many dollars did you help projects raise from VCs so far?
That is really difficult to say in these 5 months, to be honest.
Right.
But that's a very good question. And actually, what we wanted to do in our next proposal, in this proposal, is to keep track of that as well. Yep. To have that also in that kind of portal, because it's really interesting to know as well. A very good question.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much. Just checking the KoosDAO chat there. It looks like KoosDAO is in support here, quite overwhelmingly.
Yes.
And
yeah, overwhelmingly. Yeah.
If you're watching at home and you're not part of the KoosDAO and privy to the open and transparent conversations happening around every ref, make sure you do join the Discord right there. Mario, thanks for coming on the show, and only halfway through the decision period, so we hope to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Jay.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Okay, moving on. We have a discussion close to my heart. WAG Media is back, this time for a juicy 52 weeks of content creation. If you don't know, WAG Media is it's a bounty that is particularly focused on encouraging general users to create bullish content. And a lot of that content we see on our timeline every day. Cal, you still on the show here? Because I want to welcome you up to the stage.
Hey, yes.
Welcome, sir. What do you want to tell us about this one?
So as you said, so WAG Media is the media hub and the content creation by curation. So we are back with 52 weeks proposal. And right now, I wanted to present the proposal or discussion to the panel so that they can give us feedback and we can make it better. And I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, here you can see that from last February, we are running the current referendum, the Open Room referendum 365. And right now we are ending it this week as we delivered our 26 weeks. And in this time, we created more than 180 bounty curated contents by Goku. He was the curator for the bounties. And also we awarded more than 30 plus contents for retroactively. And also we delivered 26 newsletters with some big hits. You can see in the proposal also here by going to the links and stuff. And we also delivered our website, the one single truth for WAG Media, where you can see everything we awarded and by whom and what for. So everything is in the website, and the website is open source. So if anyone, any bounty team or any other content creation team want to use the website, they can just get it from our repo, and they can just build their own website and can report everything by this website. And also we collaborated with some of the high profile content creators like DeFi Guy. So he produced a few great contents for us in that period. And unfortunately we lost him to for another job. So he's in Singapore right now. And then there's the impact. So what we brought in this time. So we have some huge hits or contents which generated more than 120,000 views also. And here you can see the links here. And we have also some other hits. So you can get all the list or all the content links from in this document also. And from last session, we have few new faces in our content creation pool, like Gabichi. He is one of great addition to our web media content creation pool. So he is really delivering the highly curated contents here. And also we have Pablo and Emil. They also like gained some fame around this time. And for the audits, you can see that we are also delivering our audits each month. So here you can see, and I wanted to show our performance from the last month on here. So we tried different kind of tactics this time so that we can grow our own web media brand. And we finally found our intern who is delivering the best of his ability. And now here you can see that just give me a second. So here is our Twitter stats from January until June. And you can see that our impressions are going up each month. This is only the web media account, but we also, as we are supporting other content creators, so they have also their data. So yeah, so this is here. And then our goal is still the same. We want to curate newcomers in the Polkadot ecosystem so they can work with frictionlessly. And as you know that also today the AMI bounty also got closed. So we need some help. The new curators also need some help because they want to grow their brand first, and then they can go their way for own tips. And if they want to form their own media, that's fine. But initially, nobody wants to believe the creator. So when they can come to web media, we can just support them, and then he can show his work to the Polkadot community, and then he can get his own tips. So yeah. So what we are asking for is for these 3 points. So we want to continue the all web media services right now, and then upgrading our website to make it more appealing, and also the single source of truth. Like we have a web tool, and now we want to merge that also with our web media bot so that it can work as one. And also we want to show that how the auditing is working here. And for sustaining our growth, we want to be focused more on our team side also. So we want to hire some few more people so that we can all work together in same harmony and grow our web media brand also. And about some scenarios where we also failed to deliver some things, like because there was like competition and we had to fight with 2 other bounties, and so we lost few of our creators to them because of the pricing, because we have some fixed price and we don't pay superficially. So we always pay what the content deserves. Yeah, we are almost there.
Halfway. 4 minutes left.
So our bounty range is like around from $450 to 50 cents. So within this range, many curators are happy, many content curators are happy, but many are not. So they go their own way. But we are always there to support new creators so that they can go with their own after some time. Like as I showed that many are successful with their own journey. So yeah. Now, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Can you show us real quick in the document here where people can click to get an overview of all the rewards you've given and the success of the posts?
So here in the website, you can go in the audit section, and you can see who got what. Even you can find by, suppose say that how much. So I can show yearly. So you can see how much he or she got. So everything is here, and there is the Discord link. You can go there, and also if you want to audit the same content via there, you can just go there or not. Yeah, this one, suppose, and under the author. Under the author, you will also find which content got how much. So you can see everything here.
That's sweet. Thewagmedia.com. Okay, nice. Let's open it up to questions, comments, concerns, risks. What do we see, folks? How about anybody in the chat? We have Carlos saying he's a WAG's child. Of course, lots of people did come up through WAG. All right, you left people stunned. When are you going to go for a, yeah, WAG, good. When are you going to go for a proposal here?
So we will wait 1 or 2 days for the feedbacks, if any. If not, then by Saturday.
Cool. All right, nicely done. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on.
Thanks a lot for hosting.
All right, let's move on here. We got a big one. Let's look at where we are in the show here. So that was WAG Media. We're over the halfway mark, which is great. This one is a discussion by the folks at Rarible. They're looking for $4.4 million to integrate the Polkadot NFT landscape into the popular Rarible platform. Who do we have here from Rarible?
Hey, Jay. That'll be me here.
Hey.
And Jonas as well.
Jonas, great. Is it Jose? Is that how we say?
Yes, Jose. You got it right.
Guys, welcome to the show. I'm going to start the 10 minutes now. What do you want to tell us?
Perfect. So just want to open it up with the why behind this. Why exactly we're looking at doing this. I feel like a lot of people here might already know Rarible and what we've been up to. So I'm going to kind of speed through that a little bit more and just kind of jump into why we're thinking about making an entry into the Polkadot community. We've actually been speaking with members and contributors to the Polkadot community, especially Edgeware DAO. And the folks there, we have Shankar here on the call as well. And we've really kind of joined forces and coming up with a proposal that we think could be very valuable to the Polkadot ecosystem. Our proposal is to take everything we've done at Rarible, the infrastructure, tech stack, and actually end up powering a fully custom and white label marketplace that could serve as kind of the home base for all NFT trading across the Polkadot ecosystem. And we're really excited about this. We've actually been doing this for other ecosystems lately. We've done it for Mantle, we've done it for Cello. We're going to be doing this for several others. We've also powered fully white label marketplaces for major brands like Mattel, McFarlane Toys. And now we see an opportunity to help bolster and accelerate NFT engagement in the Polkadot community. And one of the ways we see doing that, you'll see a couple of screenshots of a sample experience actually in the discussion post we ended up having there. So feel free to poke around. We wanted to give it serious thought. We wanted to be something that could be very fun, engaging, could actually help elevate the artist community and the creator community across Polkadot. We know it can be something that could be very engaging, and we want it to be fun and playful for the Polkadot community too. But at the same time, we've noticed a challenge in the market, which is scattering the community across too many marketplaces. Right now, let's say, especially across the parachains, if you want to go buy an NFT, where are you going to go? And there's not really a clear answer for that yet. And so we want to bring a strong enough answer where we can say, this is the place on Polkadot where if you want to do an NFT drop, if you want to buy and sell an NFT, come here. And on top of that, we see opportunities to really engage the Polkadot community. Together with the Edgeworth DAO, we're looking at even coming up with a curatorial board. Across this, we could actually involve key members of the Polkadot community that want to be participating in curating the NFT collections or the NFT drops that are going to be happening here. So we really want it to be community oriented and community centric in that way, where the curation happens by the community, the drops happen by the community, and Rarible can come in to do what we do best, which is really powering all the ins and outs technically, mechanically, and also helping amplify the NFT drops that are happening on this marketplace itself. So that's kind of in a nutshell how we're thinking about it, wanting to unify that NFT community, bolster it, put artists, put creators on display. We may have people here literally on the call that consider themselves creators. So we would love to spotlight you and really find ways to encourage more of this creativity on the Polkadot community. And so that's a bit about how we're thinking about it. And I'll pass it on to Jonas to hear a bit more from his perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jose, and hello, everyone. One of the most interesting things that I think we can bring to the Polkadot ecosystem here is the notion of this being an aggregation of all the parachain assets that are out there that can all live in one place, heterogeneously with each other, but can also be supported for primary and secondary markets with the native tokens from each of the chains, as well as with DOT. So, for example, if you were to go to Rarible.com, there's on the homepage, there are a mix of NFTs from different ecosystems. If you click on the Explore tab, you'll see that we have all kinds of chains that are co-listed on Rarible.com, everything from Lisk and Base to Cello and Rari and Chroma and Palm and all kinds of chains. And each one of those has their own marketplace, and then they are all aggregated together on Rarible.com. We think that same model could work really well in the Polkadot ecosystem, where each parachain could have its own marketplace, and then all of those can get aggregated into one central marketplace for kind of cross-chain love, essentially. So that's kind of what I think makes us stand out, is that we have a lot of experience in multi-chain marketplace development so far, and dealing with all the different tokens, both EVM and non-EVM, and we think that the Polkadot ecosystem could really embrace that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, and adding on to that too, I think the other angle that we want to look at this from is how do we create something that's going to be sustainable and healthy from an economic standpoint for the Polkadot ecosystem collectively. If you think about it, a marketplace has different economic elements. It has royalties, perfect, noted on time. It has royalties, it has marketplace fees. And so the cool thing about this is you can actually set your own custom marketplace fee for this marketplace holistically. And from that could open up different economic opportunities. Some of that could be carved toward a creator fund per se. We've seen partners like Cello actually take revenues from the marketplace fee and reinvest it into the community. So there's ways that we could actually open up more economic value through the trading of NFT assets, and also through the marketplace fees associated with primary mints. For instance, standard marketplace fees for primary mints could be anywhere between 7 to 10%. Again, some of that could be carved out as the DAO wishes to then reinvest back into the community and encourage some of that in a sustainable fashion. That is the end goal. We're not looking short term here. We're looking at how do we really bolster this in a powerful way that can actually open up literally a flywheel of economic value for creators, projects, and literally anyone on Polkadot that's going to be engaging with NFTs. And with that, I know we've got a bit of time left, so I'll pass it on to Shankar from Edgeworth DAO, who can speak a little bit about the community aspect of it and how we plan to engage Polkadot through a collective.
I'll say real quick, there's 3 minutes left. Generally, it's advisable to leave some time for questions, but we'll throw it to Shankar now.
Yeah. I'll quickly summarize a technical perspective, how this collaboration could open up a new way for onboarding a lot of not just people, curators, or talents across from all over the place to the Polkadot ecosystem is through the collective. So majority of the operations will be taken care by the contributors. So HY contributors here involved, which are basically the distributor sub-DAO. There is no involvement from the Kabocha contributors, and we are facilitating the operations, not controlling it. So apart from the usual curation, social media, blogs, support handling, community management, the major highlight that I would say would be the NFT collective that we will be forming. So imagine this collective like an fellowship equivalent for the palette NFTs. So we can collectively form ecosystem-wide standards, frameworks, and strategies on different levels. And that could actually benefit the whole ecosystem. That could also increase the adoption of palettes NFTs. And this collective can come up with RFCs for the NFTs palette. So this actually could bring a lot of involvement from all the chains, not necessarily just involving the common good chains, but also from all other commercial parachains, solo chains, and they all of the community members can be part of this collective to curate this NFT ecosystem that we are envisioning.
Okay.
So that's a short.
Let's get to questions real quick here. Sorry, Lima, just one quick second. We have someone in the chat asking or pointing out that Rarible is already integrated into Moonbeam, the popular EVM network. But this is more than that, right? This is all chains?
Correct. It'll be more than that. The goal is to be able to do that across the full Polkadot ecosystem and the chains involved.
And I'm going to give it to Limo and then Angela. But I just wanted to point out real quick that this ask 4.4 million is 4.2% of the current value of the treasury, counting all DOT and all stablecoins. It's going to be a sticking point once you guys post this. How are you possibly going to get the voters to get behind parting with 4.2% of the treasury?
Yeah, I think the point here would be, how do we make that into something sustainable, right? Something that unlocks more of that economic value, and that's part of the reasoning why we ended up bringing up that component. This isn't going to be a cost center. This could actually be a smart investment into the future of the creator community on Polkadot.
Nice. Limo.
Hey, yes, so there's 3 questions, but they're kind of quick and should be quick to answer. The first one's kind of similar to Jay's point. The price tag is 4.4 million USD, but I don't see a cost breakdown. How can you guys justify this cost? It seems really high. The budget and timeline section is really bare at the moment and doesn't have any information really. The second one is, can you share how much seller paid for this white label solution? And the third one is, will there be any follow-up costs regarding future maintenance of this platform?
Nice.
Definitely, great question. So number one, I think at the point of actually posting the proposal, we're definitely going to beef up the part around the breakdown and the different deliverables. Right now, we wanted to kind of get a gut check from the community and understand how it's landing. So I think your feedback is really well received, and we'll be sure to respond to that. I can't speak exactly to the Celo price point, but I would say it was definitely lower, given that it's one chain and one EVM chain. In this case, we're talking about Polkadot non-EVM approach, and it's going to be multiple chains, right, on it. So that's why we are looking at a higher price tag for that. And I think I missed one of the questions. So would you mind repeating the one that I missed?
Yeah. Will there be any follow-up costs regarding like continued maintenance of the platform? Like in 6 months' time, 1 year's time?
Yeah, good question. I think right now we're looking for this to be literally upfront investment to go ahead and make it happen rather than layering on more and more costs down the line.
Okay. Angie, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, there are several developers kind of working on solutions. What do you see in Polkadot, just from your due diligence, what do you see that is missing right now in Polkadot? What are the biggest problems to solve for NFTs?
Yep, definitely. I've been hugging some of the questions, so I'll open it up for either Jonas or Shankar.
From my perspective, I think what's missing is the centralized play across all parachains. The fact that there would be one location to go to see everything, to be able to purchase everything on a primary and secondary perspective. Shankar, anything else you'd add?
Yeah. So we have seen a lot of examples of marketplaces originating from the Polkadot ecosystem, incubated within the Polkadot ecosystem, and are no longer Polkadot exclusive. So this is one-stop solution to that problem, where this Rarible platform, this will be Polkadot exclusive marketplace for all the Polkadot SDK utilizing substrate chains.
Ben, let's finish up with you on this this big spend.
Yeah, it's more of a comment really. So I've just heard a few examples about Celo integration. Because like, you have to forgive me, I'm super bearish on NFTs as a whole, or this whole profile picture side of it. But for example, the trending collections on Rarible for Celo, the top performing collection for 30 days has got like $100 of volume. And you can see the same on multiple other, even like Moonbeam is actually already integrated, and that's like 5,000 Glimmer as the top activity for the last 30 days. You can see that on all these other ones, Aptos, Sui, or Polygon, all super low volumes. So I think, yeah, you're going to have to really dig in, and I think Limo's already asked about a breakdown of the costs, but for me, it's really hard to see we can justify for an NFT. You know, there might be a reason why we don't have a unified NFT in this ecosystem. And I know some have tried before, like Coda, and there's been a bunch of discussions on the Polkadot forum amongst these people who are building NFT marketplaces in this ecosystem about unifying standards and things like that, and none of those have come to fruition. So
yeah, I think, by the way, your feedback is well received. Thank you for bringing that up. With Celo right now, they're on Rarible, which is a multi-chain marketplace. It's not dedicated to the Celo ecosystem, of course. So this would be a different approach. I dropped in a success story of results that we saw within 1 to 3 months post-launch with the Celo Rarible X marketplace, which is a white label marketplace, different model. So noted on the lower volume on Rarible.com, and that's the challenge with having multi-chain across multiple ecosystems on a kind of more generic marketplace. With this approach, we're hoping to solve for that and actually create something more centric and Polkadot specific, where hopefully we can see more engagement, more volume, and more unification across the different NFTs in these different chains. We'll be sure to include more success stories and success stats in the eventual proposal, of course.
Okay, Angie, how about we hear from you just one more time here?
Okay, really quickly, just maybe as a follow-up for the next time. So OpenSea, obviously, news hit the tape. What, I mean, we all know there are a lot of NFTs that are not securities, but it only takes one that could be viewed as an investment contract that could take down the whole network, or the whole platform. So it would be risky, in my view, for us not to have our arms around all of the other, you know, kind of marketplace assets you have. So it would be great to hear maybe the next time what now you have in place to kind of mitigate that risk.
Okay. Thanks. So we'll hear more about that next time. Jose and Jonas and Shankar, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Personally, I think NFTs are going to make a comeback. And Ben, you may be happy to hear that Collectibles by Koos, 158.42 DOT in volume already. So you might want to hop on before you miss the boat.
Bullish wood.
We're going to move on now to the Polkadot Virtual Machine formal specification development. This is Ref 1116. And who do we have on the show for this one?
That's me, Everett.
Oh, Everett, what's up, man? This is 371.8 thousand USDC, just opening the decision period, but already a very nice 86.8% in favor. What's going on?
Yeah, so I came on a couple weeks ago to talk about the discussion post, and got some good questions that time as well. Didn't get a whole lot of feedback on the discussion post, but then we posted it here and we did get some interaction from the community. So just wanted to come in and talk a little bit about that. So the goal here is to create a formal specification of the Polka VM, which is for the Jam chain. This is to be used as a reference implementation for conformance testing, other Polka VM implementations, and also just as a executable reference to be used for just reading and understanding PokeVM for implementing new PokeVMs. That's the first deliverable that we would get out of that, and that's listed in the proposal as well. But the tools we can build on top of that, our entire approach to building software developer tooling is to build a semantics of the programming language that's executable and then derive tooling from that, including, for example, symbolic execution engine, debuggers, property testing, fuzzing frameworks, and stuff like that. So a lot of that's detailed in the proposal. But yeah, just wanted to clarify that there's like stuff beyond just the initial specification that we'll get out of having this PokeVM implementation. There was a question from Colorful Notion, which is a team that is implementing actually a Jam client, and so it's actually very helpful feedback from them that we can implement these we can help out with a different component of implementing the PokeVM or Jam client, which is these work packages. And so we're going to investigate that and see if we can work it into the proposal as well, because I think that's very useful feedback. So appreciate anyone who can give feedback. If it doesn't pass, that's fine. We'll take all the feedback and see how we can provide the most value the next time around. So.
Okay, nice short presentation. Do we have any questions or comments for Everett here? What's going to happen to Jam implementers if this formal spec of the PVM isn't created?
I guess the biggest thing that would be delayed would be having verification tooling, like formal verification tooling targeting PokeVM. It depends on your risk profile, how important that is. At runtime verification, we're a big proponent of like shifting security left. So instead of getting audits, we try to push a lot of our clients to doing formal verification. We teach them how to use our open source tooling, and we provide some support in learning how to do that. It's a much cheaper service we provide than audits. We really think that the approach to doing audits is not a sustainable way to grow the ecosystem, because it kind of shifts all the security onto a few, entities in the ecosystem that everyone just kind of trusts. So it's better if everyone kind of improves their security from the start. So that's the approach we take with formal verification with our open source tooling. So it'll just be delayed having that tooling, and then people will continue to pay for audits and stuff like that. There are other approaches. So PokeVM is very similar to RISC-32 5E. And so if in the first comment there, I've actually put a link to our RISC-V semantics that we completed in open source within the last 2 weeks. People can take a look at that. So you could use that to do formal verification of PokeVM, and you would have a weaker guarantee for sure, because it's not actually verifying the generated PokeVM. It's verifying something kind of similar. So I think the biggest thing is there would be developer tooling that we could make that wouldn't be available as early.
Gotcha. And another follow-up question here: 371,880 USDC to start. What's future maintenance and proposals possibly going to look like?
We hadn't really planned for a future proposal beyond that, okay. but I can't guarantee that won't happen, right? Because who doesn't love more proposals? But but I mean, a future proposal could be to build out this tool like Symbolic that's linked here, which is like this debugger that integrates into Visual Studio Code and allows developers to access symbolic execution in kind of this graphical user interface. So if there's demand for a tool like that, we could build that out. That would probably be another 2-month project on top of the initial specification and testing and verification of the PokeVM. And, that is a slightly smaller price tag than this project probably. That would be kind of one of the extensions I could think of here.
Cool. Okay, any other questions or comments for Everett? No? All good. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on. Hope wishing you success with this.
Thank you.
Okay, let's keep it technical here. We got Ref 1103, PAPI, August to January development financing. This is by Victor, who submitted this one. Almost 600,000 USDT. Nice to see those stablecoin requests. Really appreciate that, everybody. Do we have anybody on the show to talk about this? Hey, Joseph, didn't see you there. What's up, buddy?
Hey. We'll keep it short. We have Carlos here as well.
Yeah, hello.
So thanks a lot for having us. We are techies, so we don't have a nice slide or anything like that. We haven't prepared the presentation that much. I just wanted to give an update because we came into the show when we made our very first OpenGov proposal.
Yeah.
And I just want to explain a little bit how everything has evolved. So we made one thing that I would like to explain is that we made an OpenGov proposal for 2 months when we were only 2 developers, and everyone thought it was reasonable. And our plan was always to show value iteratively. And if the community and the developers saw value on what we were doing, then we will keep on going and growing the team. And that's exactly what we have been doing. We made a proposal for 2 months. In the first proposal, some people were very questioning, like, oh, but like there's a developer that has never worked in the ecosystem. Will this developer will be good? I said, okay, let's see. I think that we over-delivered in the first 2 months. We try to do best practices. So one thing that we did is, like, when we got the dot, we only sold what we needed for acquiring the euros that we had proposed, and the rest of the dot we saved in case that things were going to go in a different direction in the future. Before we ended the first proposal, we managed to hire Carlo, thanks to the fact that we saved quite a bit of our salaries. And we hired Carlo with the second proposal. And I think we have been over-delivering. We have been updating almost every week about the progress. We have been collaborating with all the developers that have been transitioning from Vocal.js to modern tooling. And I think that, and we finally, after the first proposal, we delivered the beta, and we recently delivered version 1.0. I'm obviously biased, but I think that we have been over delivering, and developers seem to be pretty happy. And now we have made a proposal that it's for 6 months. We have incorporated a new developer. We onboard her 1 month ago. She comes from building on Ethereum, which is not easy to bring developers from other ecosystems. So we're trying to do that. And we're very thankful that so far our proposal is going really well. But there have been some voices being raised about the fact that we are overcharging. I would like to address that because we have been always very transparent with money. On one end, I want to say that before those acquisitions were made, we already stated and we made it very clear that we were going to return all the dot that we didn't catch because of the price fluctuation, and we plan on. So we have never speculated with the price of the dot. Basically, we've only sold the dot that we needed for the amount that we required. And now that we don't need those savings for future fluctuations because we can make proposals on USDC, we are going to return everything to the treasury. That's one thing I want to say. The other thing I want to say is that I think that we add a lot. I think that we're at a lot of value. I think that we're building critical infrastructure. I think that the skill set that is needed for doing what we're doing is quite high. And when we decided our hourly rate, we looked at what was in the market. In that moment, Tomaca was charging 300 euros per hour. Ross Gulat was charging $200 per hour. And our skill set sat in between. And despite that, we decided to go lower because we thought that those numbers were too high. And we went to 150 after taxes. So we are willing to reconsider those numbers. I just want everyone to know that those are not actually our salaries. We'll be able to pay at the end of this month to Carlo and Hannah and the whole team. And if the OpenGov proposal didn't go through, we'll be able to pay next month. That's because we're trying to be very responsible, and we're also very open about how we spend our money. But yeah, I don't want to take a lot of time. There are a lot of people here that probably want to explain the proposals, and the voting so far, it's been like the community overall, except one particular group that I think that decided to target us with a little bit of resentment. It's been really good. But like, if anyone wants to ask questions, if you want to discuss our stories, if you want to ask us to lower it, we're here to talk. And maybe I'll let Carlo explain also, since he has better communication skills than I do. So yeah, and if anyone has questions, we're here to answer them.
Hey, Pablo.
Hello, hello. If anyone has any question, please.
Okay, let's open it up
moment.
to questions. I gotta say, I mean, here's a proposal way outside my expertise, but it's also one of the teams whose reputation is really sterling in the ecosystem. A lot of big builders coming out in support of your work so far, and so that's worth noting. Any questions or comments for this team?
We thank a lot to community and you as well for that. Actually, we are really happy here in the ecosystem. Yeah.
Also have some support in the chat here, but no questions. People seeming satisfied so far. Nikos.
Hey everyone. Hey Joseph. Hey Carlos. Hey Jay. I don't have a question. I just want to add something. I'm the biggest fan of Puppy. Obviously, I use their tools every day. I will use it for the fellowship dashboard and other dashboards or tools that I'm building. I just want to add that what Puppy team is doing, I support a lot for another reason, that they are delivering, and they don't make a big proposal, let's say of 5 million. They make a smaller proposal. They over deliver, I can say. And when they deliver, then they ask for the next batch of the treasury money to continue their work. So this is something that I believe every team that wants to prove their value should follow as an example. That's all I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you very much. What else do we have? Okay, all good. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. Looks like people are impressed for now.
Thank you, Jay.
Good stuff. All right, let's keep rolling here. Up next we have, hold on. This is Ref 1110, connecting the dots, training the next generation of blockchain security experts for 11,173 DOT. Do we have Yip Clouds on the call?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Just 1 second. I wanted to put a timer so that I don't talk too much. Hello for everyone whom I haven't seen, and probably that's 99% of you. My name is Yip, and I want to run you through why it's so important to have more cybersecurity activity and also diversity in the ecosystem. So maybe a little bit about myself. Let me just try to share my screen if I can, because then it's also easier. You see me, and I have this big vision of making peace more profitable than war. I'm the co-founder also of a platform called JEDI. We make content available, for example, Polkadot Decoded Conference, and also some of these these AAGs I've put on the platform for you to get access and retrieve summaries. Mainly at the moment, I work at a cross-section of AI and Web3, very, very focused on mindfulness and peace. Like really, JEDI is the idea of focusing the mind and using it as a force for good. So basically, I've also contributed a lot to blockchain publications. This is World Economic Forum. Why did I want to show this to you? Exactly. Just making a case because I have received some kind of concerns that like, hey, who are you? Are you an expert in blockchain at all in cybersecurity? And you're new to the ecosystem. And just want to say, I do have a little bit of a track record in publishing content for education in the blockchain ecosystem. Here you can see this is me. I was a co-founder at a substrate project called Unit Network. We never launched, unfortunately. That's why I left the project about 1.5 years ago. I built one of the largest blockchain education programs in the DLT Talents program. That trained about 1,000 women founders. Out of that program, we developed DeFi talents, Bitcoin talents, NFT talents, refi talents. So all of these people who undergo like 18 weeks of online training, because my project is about cybersecurity training and on-site. And some people from the community have asked me, hey, why do you literally Actually, I want to see what you guys are seeing. Ah, yeah, you are seeing my screen, right? Perfect. Why do you not do things online? I have a lot of experience since many years running online programs, and I know how to make them very, very effective, but also I know where are their limitations. So here, this is like this DLT Talents program that has delivered many, many people into the project. Some Vietnamese crypto media calls me the Vietnamese German crypto guru, leads women empowerment projects. So I've been in the space for a little bit. Here, basically, CoinDesk reporting about me participating in a hackathon, ETH Denver 22, where I pitched proof of meditation, won it, and I kind of launched or helped to launch HerDAO Hacker House, which was the first women-focused developer house during a hackathon, and we also hosted a lot of substrate parity parachains sessions for that at ETH Denver. So like kind of I've been working on the project like in the ecosystem for some years, and also I am not completely new to cybersecurity. I run like more, I'm not crypto native. I have done all these education programs, tried to build a substrate project. And then also typically what I do is like work more with the traditional corporates. This is like European School of Management Technologies, my partners for a previous project. And I typically work with the cybersecurity projects here, Chief Cybersecurity Officer of Palo Alto Networks, which is one of the largest security research companies in the world, a Deloitte cybersecurity partner, Allianz Group, 120 billion, I think, revenue per year, the group CISO. And that's, why I'm saying that is because I received so much pushback of like, who are you? Why do you want to do this kind of cybersecurity training? I've also published stuff for here finally Web3 and well-being expert. Yip emphasizes critical importance of in a report for cybersecurity and governance in Deloitte. So here, about the past, about 1 year and 7 months ago, we had already done a proposal with my then project that was executed. That was the old form of governance. So kind of, you can see also like all the stuff that we have pushed in for the ecosystem to build a lot of education projects. For Polkadot already here is kind of, just the past, just making a case that we are not like, or at least what I've done is not completely new. We gave a lot of space for Polkadot economy speakers to share their projects in our ecosystem. And I did all of that already before, like 16 cohorts of free 6 weeks blockchain education for everyone, not only for women. But what I noticed is really in the blockchain space, there's a lot here on YouTube. You can see all of our YouTube playlists, so like you can see also how they evolved over the cohorts, because we ran 6 cohorts a year, so that was like 2.5 years of project. And today I want to speak about the next step. Right after we've like for the past 3.5 years, I think I did a lot of education. I think I trained several thousand people in the basics of blockchain and in the basics of looking at different ecosystems. And mainly I trained everyone, but I have a heart for women empowerment because I saw that this is a minority in the space. I have been a minority all my life, being like this person who kind of was born to refugee family, grew up in Germany, and always had to kind of figure out how to behave in a, in an ecosystem where people don't look like you, they don't speak like you, they have different cultures and and all of that. But what I mean is I know firsthand what it actually takes to integrate into that. So when I entered the blockchain ecosystem, there were not many women. So I helped to bring 100 women to ETH Denver. Then we kind of scaled HerDAO, helped to build this DLT Talents program, which is now like the #1 program in Europe that trains all the women who later work in the different parts of the blockchain ecosystem, more also on the bridges, like not only on the technical pieces, less on the technical pieces, but more on the investment, regulation, ecosystem building, influencing activities that will help, hopefully, the ecosystem to go more mainstream in the years to come. And here, now back to our proposal. At the moment, I think we're at 100% nay. So I don't know if anything changes, but I still want to share that with you, because even if that doesn't go through, we will launch this training. right? Because I have already put all the efforts into building it. So this is in Berlin, and it will be the first of its kind. We developed it together with Security Research Labs, with whom I've been in touch since 2018. And we just like kind of finally found a common match again, that when I found out that they actually have quite a strong track record in the Polkadot ecosystem, I invited them to partner with me to make a dream come true, which is bringing like a program that has the purpose of upskilling technical and non-technical people in strategic thinking about vulnerabilities. And the second is literally to build a community of white hat hackers, because I told you in the beginning, Jedi and I love peace, but what is it like, you know, when you are an impact person like me? The problem is that I only found out like very recently when I thought about it strategically is, hey, all these hacks, they are done by you can say rogue entities. And these rogue entities, a lot of times, are nation states that use it to fund militant operations. And one can say this is correct or not correct, depending on which side of policy one is at. But for me, I feel like, okay, if I really want to have impact, then maybe it makes sense to help people also protect their digital assets. Because these digital assets is the easiest way for any kind of funding in the dark side of things or the darknet side of things, right? So even connecting this will be very helpful. So the features of the one-day training is you learn foundational knowledge, because it's also for people outside of the blockchain space. You get a certificate. We test real tools that have been developed by Security Research Labs. Like you get hands-on. We mix people who have technical knowledge with people who don't have technical knowledge. There's spaces for 50 people, and we really stripped down the budget already. Here's the exact training curriculum. The website is already launched, so I will share it in the chat in a bit. But here you can see icebreaker. Then first is more like overall strategic view of the blockchain ecosystem, the strategic view of vulnerabilities, what are the common threats, then a few case studies that are really happening. And then in the afternoon or in the second part, we focus really on the Polkadot ecosystem security and how it looks like, what's the architecture of Polkadot. And then in the afternoon, really for hands-on, so people use the tools and also know how to read the tools and interpret the tools, the results. And then in the end, there's a little bit of Q&A. So this all is already kind of produced. We will start with producing the material for the workshop on Monday. The agenda is full. I have already 5 signups of people, and I'm open to welcome 45 more people. You don't have to pay to attend the workshop. Benefits. Like I think there's more adoption when people outside of the ecosystem, and we partner with coding schools and all these women organizations and data science and universities to recruit the people. They will just get to know their first entry point will be Polkadot, but also those already in Polkadot, they can connect with other people in the Polkadot ecosystem. And I hope this drives ecosystem growth. I think with that.
That's perfect. That's the time. That's 10 minutes right there.
To say Polkadot love. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, pretty interesting presentation there. I wish we had time to go through maybe some of the feedback you've been getting, but maybe now we'll lay it down. Did you want to say something very, very quick to the feedback,
No,
or you think you're good?
Just share it with anyone you have, and I kind of stripped down all the costs that are there, and I detailed out every line of costs in the Excel sheet. So like I basically updated everything, so every single line item broken down into every line so that you can see if you want to support or not, but like we will run it in either way.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. We have a couple more today to get through. First is the FIDI Polkadot code-free intelligence. Looking for wow, kind of a big ask here. 93,699 DOT, and just a few days into the decision period, 70% in favor, but actually not a lot of votes so far. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Awesome. So yeah, we real quick just wanted to go over our proposal and what we're trying to accomplish here. So we put this proposal together because we wanted to take advantage of all the data we've already paid for here in Polkadot, and we want to make it more accessible and usable to more of a broader audience, like technical and non-technical folks. And so we've built a code-free analytics platform that gives our users the optionality to pick and choose which data source they trust most to serve their data. And then from there, they can customize the way they want to view that data. Yeah, so essentially a no-code analytics platform that taps into all the data we have at Polkadot. And so We think it's a great way. I mean, the platform's a great way to safeguard the ecosystem as well, to like vendor lock-ins and price gouging and deprecated support that we've all experienced probably within this forum. And then it's also a great tool and super powerful in general, and probably the most decentralized approach we have to evangelizing how solid the Polkadot ecosystem is externally, right? And so I'll let Roman jump in, but that's
yeah. And just to
high
go a
level
little bit
overview.
deeper, so like today, data providers, they generally perform their own levels of data validation. So if you look at SQD, Subsquid, they have ZK Proof, T&E. If we look at Parity or Call for Notion, they are they surface the data in more Web2 fashion, so they have the validity check on the data pipelines. But the users still often struggle with essentially metrics being different everywhere. And so FIDA is a next level abstraction on that data quality on top of existing providers. So as Sean mentioned, this is almost as decentralized as it gets. We're bringing essentially resilience to Polkadot that doesn't exist now. And more importantly, the ongoing costs that we expect are absolutely minimal compared to any of the current investments that we made within the ecosystem. And the reason for that we don't really index any data, or we don't store any raw data. And so that's where the edge, I think, comes from. So yeah, all in all, super enthused about bringing this into the ecosystem, and very excited about your feedback, folks.
Okay. All right, awesome. Do we have any questions or comments for this one? No? What spurred you guys to develop this? What do you think is needed in the Polkadot ecosystem that you can provide that isn't already there?
Yeah, I think just going off actually some of the comments that Jose and Jonas brought up, right? The discovery is the largest gap. And so we do have all these data providers and current investments. But if you walk through like a typical analyst flow, typical user flow, then they need to go to Dune, they need to write SQL queries, they need to go to private data sources, they need to go to aggregators, and they collect all of this to make sense, to make the insights. So we really believe in that vision to have one-stop shop, say like analytics.polka.com, where you can basically same as you guys can pick today the RPC provider, basically pick the data provider that you trust, merge that data together, augment it, and go from there. And so we've our, I think, initial proof of concept and proof points were in the Web3 Foundation grant that we delivered on in April. We're all developers, been an ecosystem from day one, born and raised in Polkadot. And so that's, I think, a natural continuation. We have several chains and marketing firms using that open source library to power those analytics, and we want to take it to overarching view of Polkadot now.
Okay, very good. And are you guys in contact already with Parity Data and Colorful Notion? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that comment. I also saw it in the thread. Absolutely. So some of the data you see on the screenshots in the proposal are sourced from .lake, from Parity. We are in touch with Colorful Notion. We use their open BigQuery data sources early this year, and we're like in the midst of it right now.
And after this request, 93,699 DOT, how long is this going to last you, and what can we expect as far as more spending in the future?
I feel like I'm taking over the mic, but yeah, let me tackle it real quick and pass it back to Sean.
Sure.
Yeah, so most of this is pure eng cost. So it's around 6 months project. We bill at about $40 an hour for staff level data engineers and for other folk, mostly because we believe that the need is really prevailing. And as I was mentioning, the ongoing maintenance cost will be under 10,000 DOT a year. It will actually drive down with scale as well. So we'll be, so if you compare, we probably spend like 25 times more per year on SubScan and others. So we really want to build that thin layer that empowers all the users and lets them basically choose the correct metrics that they believe in and go from there.
Cool. Okay, last call for questions or comments. All right, that's it for the guys at FIDI. Wait, did we get to it? FIDI? Sorry.
FIDI,
FIDI, baby. Yeah, that's what I meant to say, of course. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Let's check how this is going next week, all right?
Absolutely.
Final one today. Proposal by the lads at Centrifuge. Proposal for the Polkadot community to earn RWA yield on idle stablecoins via Centrifuge. The idea here is to deploy 3 million USDC from the stablecoin treasury into Centrifuge's T-Pool bill by Anemoy Liquid Treasury Fund, the Anemoy Liquid Treasury Fund. This is kind of cool. This has been in conversation behind the scenes for quite some time here, and we just started the decision period. Already 5 million in favor. Welcome to the show. Wait, who's here? Who's still here?
Yeah, I can kick it off.
Grayson,
It's Grayson
great.
and Colin.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, guys? Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us back on. We're happy to have posted the ref yesterday after about a month, I think, when we posted the discussion last month. But yeah, I'm Grayson. I work at Centrifuge doing BD and research, and Yvonne can introduce himself.
Yeah, my name is Ivan. I'm Centrifuge governance facilitator, so I help Grayson to write the proposal and just connect the people.
Yeah. But yeah, just I guess a little bit about the proposal. You know, coming from Centrifuge, one of the largest protocols built on Polkadot Rails. Centrifuge is a RWA protocol focused on tokenizing assets really across the financial spectrum. It was founded in 2017, with the first assets being tokenized in 2020. We're one of the largest RWA protocols. We've with a current TVL of 300 million, and over the lifetime of finance, over 600 million in on-chain assets. But yeah, Centrifuge was launched on Substrate in July of 2021 as a live network, and in 2022, Centrifuge secured the 9th parachain slot in the second batch, and I think it was the highest participating batch at that time. But basically, more about this proposal is we are proposing that the Treasury earn yield on idle stablecoins sitting in the Treasury that right now are earning no yield, and this is following the footsteps of the Web3 Foundation back in January. And because these are real-world, investment products, the entity needs to be KYC'd, which is why we were really happy to see that the Polkadot community voted to set up the Polkadot Community Foundation back a few months ago, and we've been working with them on this proposal, and yeah, it's been up and running, I think, for a few months now. But really, the main goals of this proposal are for the community to be able to earn a stable yield on idle stablecoins that they aren't using, to earn revenue for the community, to weather adverse selections and offset some spend, also to grow the market size for RWAs on the Polkadot Rails, and be able to market that to the broader DeFi ecosystem, as Polkadot, to really set the tone that Polkadot is a home for RWAs, and then also to support a leading parachain in the Centrifuge chain, the Centrifuge protocol, as it looks to expand its presence on Polkadot. Just a little, yeah.
Go ahead.
And then just a little bit more about the underlying fund. So the underlying investment or the underlying yield generation would be simply from UST bills, Anemoy LTF, and I'll share my screen a little bit and go over kind of our app. But Anemoy LTF is a pool on our platform. It's a regulated BVI professional fund that invests exclusively in U.S. Treasury bills. So the safest investment asset you can buy. Redemptions are daily. There are low fees on the fund of 15 bips annually, 0.15%, and the tokens themselves serve as direct ownership of shares of the fund. And so this investment is really just to it's a vote would mean that the stablecoins would be sent to the foundation, and then the foundation would be able to subscribe to the fund and earn yield on behalf of Polkadot. And then whenever the community wishes to pull back the stablecoins, whether it be for other initiatives they want to fund, or just because they want it back for whatever reason, they can do so through governance. The foundation was set up to purely serve the DAO and whatever they ask of it. So funds can be returned at any time, plus interest when the community wishes. Any questions based off that? And I can just show the app.
I think you guys mentioned that the Web3 Foundation is already deployed in this pool, right?
Yes.
Any other big names you want to disclose?
There's a few other EVM-based styles like Gnosis and a few others, but the big one within the Polkadot ecosystem would be W3F. So yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure W3F and all the others did their due diligence, but do you want to talk at all to the risks of deploying in this pool?
The risks are really the underlying assets. As a holder of the fund, as the Polkadot Community Foundation is the owner of the shares. The underlying portfolio is bankruptcy remote. If anything were to happen, the shareholders have full recourse on all the underlying assets through the legal system. So I guess the main risk would be the U.S. government defaulting on its debt.
Oh, okay. So it's not risk-free.
Yes, it's not risk-free.
All right. No, all good, all good. If there's no questions right now, or if you have some, let's line them up. But let's check out this platform you're going to show us.
Yeah. Let me know. I think you can see my screen. I'll just go back. Here's the overlay. This is just the Centrifuge app. We're going to be double clicking into the Animal Liquid Treasury Fund here with a current AUM of 12.8 million. This was launched. This has only been really live since the beginning of this year. You can see the tokens accrue in price over time as the fund grows in value with yield being earned. You can also see in the assets tab, one really unique thing is that this is all public. As an investor or just as a member of the community, you can see every single individual asset the fund is holding. So every single T-bill by its QSIP, which is kind of the identification the government gives each individual T-bill. So you can look these up. You can double click onto any of the underlying assets and see, all the underlying metadata, all the transaction history. It's all brought on chain, tokenized, using Centrifuge chain, Polkadot Rails to show all this information as NFTs. And all this information is not just verified by us, but by our fund administrator, who is a third party that's licensed in the BVI and is required in this type of fund to basically verify all the underlying assets and all this data. We also have integrations with the fund's bank account, brokerage account when they buy the T-bills, transfer account, which is basically the bridge between Circle and your bank account, and then the on-chain reserve. And there's all sorts of cool features like reporting. You can see the balance sheet by month or by day. You can see all these different sheets, but maybe not so relevant to go over right now. Can we get a powered by Polkadot on this app? It's on the main website. I guess it's not on the app, but if centrifuge.io, it's on there. But you're right.
Could you also please get as seen on the Coos? That's cool, guys. Awesome. Do we have any questions or comments for the folks here? It's a bit early, so it's nice to get an overview. But Limo.
Hey, you kind of mentioned this, but it might be good to clarify it. So if we approve this, it's up to the Polkadot Community Foundation to be KYC'd for it, right? If token holders then, let's say, for example, we need to access those stablecoins in the future, right? Like pretty quickly for something. What's that process look like of redeeming it and then XCMing it back to Asset Hub?
Yeah, so the DAO would pass that vote. The community foundation is literally there to do whatever you guys say. So they would redeem. That's going to take about 1 day to get the stablecoins back, and then they'll send it back to the treasury. So all in all, I'd expect between 1 and 2 days, post vote passing.
Is something we might have to talk to the foundation about, because who's the person that can tell them, hey, in the next day, initiate this, right? So it might need to be a referendum, though. I mean, yeah, I don't expect you guys to have that answer. I'm just trying to think of if we ever needed to get them back, what that process looks like.
Yeah, they're only going to do what the referendum tells them what to do. So in our proposal, it says, KYC and then subscribe to the fund. Another referendum would be passed to say, redeem the shares, send it back to this address, which is the treasury address.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah, wish for change with remarks. So that could take what's the shortest that would pass, Limo? Like 24 days?
Yeah, so that's the main thing is it might take a while, but other than that, I think it's a pretty decent proposal. I'm just thinking if we ever need to go that route of redeeming stuff, how we would do that. But yeah,
Good point. Okay, this is just starting, like I said, but guys, let's check in next week and see how this is going. Strong opening, but obviously a lot of DD from the community to go. So just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Good stuff. Okay, let's. That's it for presentations this week. Let's just motor through a few of interest that we've spoken about in the past. Polkadot at Slush 2024. This one with, what is this? A week left, 8 days. Oh, almost 9 days left at 43% in favor. That's for 112,000 USDT. The Dots Magazine. This one, half the decision period remaining. This one's close. Could go either way. 49.1%. with about 30 million on either side of that vote. We also have B2B marketing and sales from Natalie. We had her on the show last week. This one's faring a little bit better, 181,000 USDC, 74.5% in favor, and half the decision period remaining. Pluto Wallet, this is another nail biter, 49.6% in favor with, let's see here, 8 days, 5 hours remaining. Yes, Lee Marino.
Yeah, Pluto Wallet was actually confirming at some point, and then it got if you got the timeline, and it got aborted out of the confirmation.
Let's check that out. Let's look at the action here. Oh, dang. Oh, it was close. It was, what was that, about 70% in favor, which is fairly high, but been slapped out. Just hovering along that.
I believe this 12XL account has voted on a lot of stuff because they're the reason the dots is lower.
12XL.
It's like a whale battle. Yeah.
Ooh. It's nice when whales battle over just lighthearted memes. Any idea who this account is?
I wouldn't want to speculate, but it might be because the dots posted a meme about somebody and that somebody might be that account.
Oh, really? Okay. We'll have to go through the timeline and check out what that was. That's all the ref on the go that I wanted to talk about. Limo, anything else that's catching your eye or anybody else on the panel? No? All good?
It's a new PVA referendum. I don't know if Nikos is still here.
What number is that?
1125. I think he's coming on next week to talk about it because it just got posted.
Well, let's just take a little look here today and see where we're at. Polkadot Blockchain Academy, absolute legends.
Almost 2 million USDC.
Almost 2 million USDC. This is a big one. This is for Wave 6 of the Academy, as well as the development of the PBAX platform, which is an educational platform, with the goal of reaching more people for obviously a lot less once it's developed. We did talk about that on the Coos on Space Monkeys when we interviewed some of the team, and I think we'll roll out some clips about that just to refresh everybody's memory, maybe this week maybe next week. But okay, let's see how this goes. 1 million against, 306,000 in favor. Obviously, a long way to go. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Lee. Anything else?
The sub-wallet proposal. I'm surprised they were not on the show today.
Ooh, what number is that?
Oh, I just scrolled past it. Let me. 1118.
Don't know what's happening with the. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of loading there. Retroactive sub wallet for 8 months of development. Ooh, 168.61 thousand dot. It's currently with 5.53 million in favor and just 10 dot against. That's really interesting. Hopefully we do get them on the show next week and we have a little bit more to bite into there. What about anything else?
I think that's it from my side.
Okay.
I think we've gone through a lot of stuff.
Well, if there's no more suggestions, let's look at the confirming refs here. 50 Polkadot ecosystem PR campaigns. This is confirming for 75,000 dot. Pretty big one there. The Dachborg, a decentralized perpetual futures exchange. This one is now. Oh, Nike. Let's reload the page because I think this one just got kicked out of confirmation. Oh, got kicked out of its first confirmation period, now down to 38.8% in favor with 3 hours, 40 minutes remaining in the decision period. What happened here?
That confirmation period had, I think, not too long left on it as well.
Ouch, ouch. Well, that's pretty rough for another big one, 54,500 DOT. We'll have to see what the crew wants to do with that. We also have open source developer grants bounty by OTAR. This one in confirmation, 100% in favor on this initiative. And is that it? No, we got Polkadot Live Milestone 2 development. This one in the confirmation period, almost halfway through, but just 59% in favor. And low voter turnout. Even just a micro mini dolphin could come in here and swing this one. So we'll have to check next week. Subscan also on the line with 56.1% in favor, Lee. Wow.
Why is everybody hating Subscan?
I use it all the time.
Everybody uses it. Like, we don't have a good alternative. Like, until we get a good alternative, it's just kind of, we got to take the L on it, you know? But if someone wants to get some money for something, probably a nice competitor to Subscan that's not absolutely terrible UX might be something that you want to make. Because then you can charge less money and get all the money.
We saw the value of competition on the show earlier today, so might not be bad to get something going there. Inc. 5.0's code-based security audit. Not much trouble getting this one most of the way through the confirmation period. Notable that the actual participation is quite low, so it's not over yet. But currently, what is this? 11 and a half hours remaining in the confirmation period, and this is a good one. Bifrost being included in marketing narratives. 64.6% in favor of this. I don't know who would vote against this. That's a little bit odd. But obviously Bifrost, sterling protocol in the ecosystem. And yeah, pretty sweet. That's it. Limo.
That Dasborg one,
Yeah.
1043, that's a big whale account that's come out and made that.
I was showing that. What is that, 16 million? Let me pull that up.
Yeah, 12 PT, almost 17 million $.
Whoa.
Damn.
And you're going to tell us who this one is.
I don't know who it is.
See, maybe whales are voting against Subscan because they're tired of Chaos DAO unearthing their real-world identities.
We won't speak about the block space Baron today. That's for Monday.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about the block space Baron. Sounds like a complete... shoot, we are on the main Polkadot account, so I can't tell you how I really feel. That's all good. Guys, thanks very much for being part of the show today. We want to thank everybody in the chat for keeping it lively and for your great insights and thoughts. All of our presenters, it was a real doozy today, but I think we really matured as a DAO today. And want to thank also the panelists for their great questions. I can't wait to get back on X here and see how the messy business is going. That's pretty exciting stuff. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep pushing forward, and we'll see you all next on Monday for Kusama edition of AAG.